Alright, so let me give you a little preview of what we're working on here before I show you how to build the whole thing. But this is what we're doing. It's what we got, the whole final thing. A 7-foot tall Chucky Good Guys toy box. And you really can do multiple, any kind of toy box. I want to do multiple ones in the future, so that should be coming. But it's all collapsible to get inside. Each side is a door. There's a little magnetic clasp there, so each side opens up to get inside. And then you just hop on in, close the door, and take a picture. So it's pretty cool. It's all like a wooden frame. So it's all collapsible. I'll do a little time lapse here so you can see it. So it collapses down pretty easily, just like probably 5 minutes. You could pretty much do it by yourself, just one person too. And then it's kind of just these pieces that you need to store, which, you know, large and flat, so you could probably find a place to put that stuff. The front is acrylic here. And then so also this roof comes off too. If you want to do that, it's just, you know, Velcro on there. So you could take that off and kind of get some better lighting in there, or even put like a nice little kind of LED strip around here, and then it'll look really good when you got your people in there. So that's kind of the basis of it. It's all on a hinge here, which is nice. I took a lot of thought in making like these edges look good. I didn't want like you to see individual panels, even though they kind of are. So yeah, it looks all like kind of really nice and one nice box, really. I'm really happy with how it turned out. So there you are. Let's get into how to build this thing.
So in the description, I'll have a link to all the supplies, and I do have the vinyl prints available for you to purchase if you want to make this yourself. So saves you a lot of headache trying to design these things and figure out where to get those printed and stuff. So I'll have the link to those in the description for you to purchase if you'd like. But a quick note on some of the materials. So the front is made using a 3mm thick clear acrylic, and the sides are made with corrugated plastic panels. So I got these from a place called Sign World near me here in Southern California, and they were great because they pre-cut everything to the exact sizes I wanted, which was a huge help. Cutting acrylic especially can be very tricky without cracking it and actually get a good cut and stuff. So I'd really recommend using Sign World, or finding a place like finding a local sign shop or something that will do that for you. All right, so step one is to cut out the window for Chucky. So just use a knife to cut out the window for Chucky to look through out of the vinyl graphic. Just use a straight edge for the straight parts, and then you can just kind of freehand cut around the curves, and it came out nicely. Next, we're going to make the folding hinges for the front and the sides. So I thought about this a lot, and I went through a few different options, but really the best, cheapest, strongest solution was duct tape. So it works great, and it's super strong for the light corrugated plastic side panels to open up and use as a door, so it works great. I use extra wide Gorilla Tape, and then just began by applying half of it to the long side of the clear acrylic panel. Then I placed the corrugated plastic panel on top of that, and then folded the tape over so that you get your hinge right there. It's important to do that so that you have enough tape and hinge for it to reach and kind of fold up all the way on itself. So kind of confusing, but I think the video kind of explains how to do it. And then just repeat for the other side as well. Next, we're going to build the front part for the wood frame. So even though the whole box is collapsible, the wood for the front portion of the frame is permanently adhered to the front acrylic panel. So essentially, you're just going to build a frame of 2x2s all around the front acrylic panel, but you're going to leave a space at each corner to slot in 2x2 that kind of then goes to the back of the frame. And just a quick note on the sizing of the wood frame versus the panels. I made the wood frame just slightly less steep and slightly shorter than the panels are, just like a 3/4 of an inch or so. And that way, so from the front view, you're not going to see any of the wood. It's just a really nice looking front panel and side panels. It covers everything up and really gives it a nice look. So once you have those pieces cut, we're going to attach them to the front acrylic panel just using screws right through from the front. So in order to ensure that the screws are hidden later, because since we're going to be covering up with the vinyl graphic, you're going to need to countersink them into the acrylic. So just use your countersink bit and go slow. Don't apply too much force or you're going to crack the acrylic, but it's doable. It's pretty easy. And I put 2 screws in the top and the bottom pieces, and then 3 screws in each of the sides. And then once you have all that secured, attach a small block of a 2x2 to each corner just for some extra rigidity. Then we'll build the rest of the wooden frame. So cut the wooden pieces that go off of the front and then connect to the back pieces. Again, make them slightly shorter, about 3/4 of an inch than the actual length. So everything's kind of nice and hidden and looks good. And then I attach these to each corner with just 1 screw because this is what you're going to be removing when you want to break it down. So 1 screw worked good and was plenty strong. And then next you'll construct the back piece of the frame, which is identical in measurements to the front, but this time, of course, the wood 2x2s go all the way to the corners, and then attach everything together as a solid back piece, and then attach the back frame to the front. And again, just 1 screw at each corner does the trick. Next, we're going to paint the frame. This is optional, but it really makes it look a lot more finished and better. Just paint the frame, the wood 2x2s, to match the color of the corrugated plastic you got. So gray in my case. And then also make sure to mark where each piece goes before disassembling it and reassembling it. And then when you paint over those marks, do them again. All right, now we're going to apply the vinyl graphic. This is when it gets so fun and looks so good. So I'd recommend having at least 3 people for the front, 2 people to hold the vinyl graphic while the third person is applying it. A squeegee, like a firm squeegee or even a credit card works for this, but it's super helpful to have that. I'd really recommend it. Luckily, the vinyl's pretty thick, which makes it fairly easy to apply, but you still may get bubbles or something like that. Just go slow, be careful. I found it's best to kind of start in the middle and push to the outside, alternating sides. So you just lay down a small section at a time with your squeegee and push out all the air bubbles. If you do get any air bubbles, you can just kind of try to push them out, or even like a little pinprick in the middle kind of helps, and you can press the air out usually. And I designed the vinyl graphic sheets to be larger than the panels so it can wrap around on the sides and the top. So it leaves you with this really nice looking edge. Nothing's, there's no exposed panels or anything like that. And then moving on to the sides, the vinyl graphics are designed so that the long edge towards the front of the box, it lines right up to the edge of the corrugated plastic panel, right up along that hinge there. So this leaves you with a really nice looking edge for the box. And then the other side wraps around the exposed edge of the plastic panel so that everything is covered up again to really make it look nice there. And so just apply the sides the same way as you did it as the front. You could probably do it with 2 people for this one, but just go slow and work from side to side with that squeegee and get all the air out. Next, use some Velcro strips to make a clasp on the front to keep the side doors basically folded over onto each other and kind of clasp down. It's kind of helpful to keep everything together during storage and moving it and stuff like that, so nothing gets damaged. Apply the feet to the bottom of your wood frame. I recommend using adjustable feet so that you can kind of raise it up and adjust it for surfaces that aren't level, or if you have it on a carpet or something, so the side doors have enough clearance to open and close. And then apply the adhesive pull knobs to the inside so that people can actually close the door when they get inside there. I did this later. I don't have footage of it, but just put those on there. It's simple. And now we'll attach the back, top, and the side. So use your Velcro strips to attach the back and the top corrugated plastic panels. You really don't need much Velcro, just a little bit on each side or each corner will do. And then for the sides, we'll use 2 magnetic catches for each side. So screw in your magnetic catches into the wood frame and then line up the metal piece that catches onto that. I ended up just using duct tape right over the metal plates to attach them to the side door. It worked better than gluing, and it also made them a little bit less strong because you really don't need much to hold these lightweight side panel doors closed, and it causes less stress on them when opening and closing. And just do that for both sides. And there you go. Congratulations. You've got yourself a 7-foot tall Chucky photo booth. And to collapse it for storage, you just got to fold the sides over to cover the front, which also has the benefit of protecting all the vinyl graphics. Then just lay the box down on its face, remove the back panel, remove the top panel, and then unscrew the wood from the back frame, followed by the side edges. So it's just kind of those 8 screws in total. And then just pick that thing up, and it really can be disassembled and assembled by just one person, and everything stores fairly flat. It's pretty cool. So I think, like I said, adding a small LED light strip to the top inside would really help with the lighting and reflections and make the photos look super, super good. Just a battery-powered one from Amazon is what I'm going to get. And you can also leave the top off, for some more natural light depending on where you're at. And again, my plan is to make some more of these toy box options. I'm really excited to do the TurboMan one. I think that's going to be my next one. And then maybe Woody from Toy Story. I don't know. Let me know if you have any ideas or suggestions for other toy boxes. That would be cool. And when I do these, we can actually reuse the wood frame for the top and the back panels. So really just need to make that front and side pieces, and it'll just pop right on there. So there you go. Let me know if you end up making this. I love seeing when other people make the stuff that I did. And let me know if you come up with any better ideas or suggestions for improvements to the design. And thank you for watching. Appreciate it.